back to another episode of Cheapskate Nation. Today we got a new project. We're going to get started on it. We're going to make our first stop. We're going to go see Dwayne at the auto parts store and hook me up with a new battery for this new project and get after it. And if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know that I kind of like those cheap Chinese quads. They are fun, fairly reliable. They work. I mean, they do what you need them to do. So you might have seen the video that I did on the Tao 110cc, and you might have seen the one that I did on the other one that's 125cc that I built some fenders for and a new seat for, and that one's running. We just all weekend long pinned that one wide open in first gear and did donuts for about 5 minutes straight, and it still runs. So I took a gamble, I rolled the dice, and I picked up another one. So we're gonna go and get some parts for it and start putting it together. Jesus, that battery's a little expensive for my taste. Well, now that I made it home, let's go show you what we got. We picked this old girl up yesterday. I really don't know much about it, but I was reading online about these Loncin engines. I guess they're a Honda knockoff. You know, she's got a radiator. She's liquid cooled, but she ain't got nothing hooked up to the thermostat. So that tells me that this thing might have overheated, and it might have bigger issues. But let's get it out of the truck and get a little walk around. Well, I can tell you right now, it's got an aftermarket headlight on it. I'm sure that didn't come with it. That maybe if we wire it in, it'll work. Who knows? The suspension's actually pretty tight on this one. The tires are still holding air. I've had it for almost 24 hours now. Actually, probably. We got wiring fiascos going on here. I mean, look at this. What in the hell did all this go to? I'm sure some of it probably went to the cooling fan, some of it to headlights. Who knows? But I think the best thing to do, I already ordered an Amazon chain on there for it, so that's coming soon. Hopefully that doesn't, it's a little loose. Maybe that's gonna have a problem. I don't know. But hopefully this thing recharges itself and does everything like it's supposed to do. I did get to hear it run, so I know it runs. But we got to figure out this wiring harness situation. Has got a cooling fan on it, but you see the wires right there are lopped off. Great. It tells me somebody didn't know what they were doing. Well, I guess the best thing to do is get in the garage and out of the rain. I mean, it comes with great custom plastic paint, or red paint. And it's broken, so we'll probably throw some zip ties through there. And again on this side. What else can I tell you about it? I think the brakes probably don't work that good on the front, but hopefully they do on the back. We got a seat with it too. And as I suspected, it looks like the seat mounts are probably broken. But let's get into the garage and figure out what we got. So first things first, I already bought a new battery for this, so we're going to go ahead and dump the acid into that and let that sit for a little bit. Now, if you buy batteries real quick here, because I didn't know this till the other day when I was reading some stuff online, so I want to pass along the knowledge I learned. When you buy batteries that you got to fill the acid into, you got to let them soak for about an hour, they say. At least an hour before you start throwing a charge at them or use them, because if you don't, that just kills them. So this battery, I'm going to get it in there. I'm going to set a timer for an hour before we try to do anything else. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to figure out the wiring in this thing. So here I got my battery. We're going to pop it open. And I'm going to show you how, real quick on camera here, how to fill these things. It's not real hard. It's not scary or anything else. It's just real simple. Tear off before read owner's manual. Okay. Pop this open. There's the manual. This is what the battery acid comes in. It goes into there. Now, when you're done, don't throw this black top away, because if you throw that away, you're not going to be having any way to reseal this. So let's get this ready first. I swear I put a box knife right there the other day. Can't find nothing in this garage. So that's going to be your new cap for the top of the battery. See if I can get you in here. Now down in there is, each one of them's got an angle to it, so it'll pierce that aluminum foil when you put it down. So you just, on a solid surface, flip her over, nothing comes out. Hi-ya! And let her fill. That's all there is to it. And then is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on the trickle charger after I do this and let it get a good full charge in it before I even try to start the quad with it. But as you can see, it's draining in there. It'll take a few seconds. You can shake it if you want. Shaking it kind of helps. But this is just the right amount of acid for this battery. It's already come pre-measured. Super start. I wonder if it's going to be a super start or it's going to die in 6 months like the other ones do. Almost there. We're waiting on these 3. There is a 90-day warranty on this battery, so if it starts to go bad in 90 days from now, or before then, I'll go get a new one. There we go. That's that part. Take our cap. Put it on there. And it's 3:35 right now, so at 4:35 I can start throwing it on the charger. And you want to push this down in there and get them all in there real good and tight. And that's that. So for some reason, they've got this thing hot wired somehow, and the starter button isn't working. I've gone ahead and hooked up my jump battery that I use for the other quads. It's kind of dying on me. I got to recharge it, but as soon as I hit power, it wants to crank over, and that's not right. Not at all. So now I'm going to have to dig through this harness and figure out what in the heck they have going on here. And I think I can see it right now. Let me get you in closer. It looks like there's one too many wires hooked to the starter solenoid. That's what it looks like. So, and I think I know why they did this. I bet if we take this one off right here, get it gone, and see where it goes to, all the way up front. Oh yeah, see? They did a bang-up job wiring this thing up. Huh, I don't know what that goes to. That'd be curious to find out. Now, one thing I've noticed on any four-wheeler, it's kind of typical. If you guys remember the green one that I picked up, it had wiring issues. I didn't really get into that. I just wanted to get it running to have fun. But what'll happen is you'll have these quads, and you'll be out riding them, and you'll have a mishap, and you'll run them into the bushes, and then the branches and stuff just tear apart the wiring harness. And if you're not half mechanical or half knowledgeable, you don't know where the wires go back together, and then you start piecing it all together and everything else. So this is just going to be a whole thing of just tracing out all the wires. And now that I've disconnected that one wire from the starter solenoid, let's hook it all back up and see what happens. So we got my positive wire here. Nothing. So bam, I already got the first wire figured out. Alright. Hey, my twinsy came to visit me. What's up, buddy? Give me a fist bump. Give me 5. Yeah. Hey, what do you think of the new four-wheeler? Cool quad? Cool quad. Yeah. Well, I was able to pull the front plastics off so I can get to the wiring harness a little bit better. And you can see exactly what they've done. They've hooked up a push-button start. And these cables come right back into here. One goes to this side of the starter solenoid, and this one goes to the other side of the starter solenoid. I kind of think I got an idea what happened here. I'm seeing other stuff that's just electrical taped. This has an extra ground on it. That's the ignition box. It's just hanging there. We got this here, but the one thing that this thing's missing is a key. And I can see in the fender where it hooks up into. The key used to be right there, and that's all wallered out. So I'm just gonna have to figure out which wire does what and makes this thing run again. And I got a chain coming for it on Amazon. The only thing, I've done a check of this whole thing, the only thing that I can see that's really got an issue with it right now is the chain tensioner. I'll flip the camera around so you can see that. So that's just a little bit bent, and I'll deal with that when I put the new chain on. But other than that, I mean, everything's still tight on it, everything's snug. There's not a lot of slop in the rear axle. Sometimes you get that after a lot of hard miles. The other thing that you want to look for on these things is the front wheels, the spindles are they all tight and everything, and these ones are. So I'm happy with that. It doesn't look like they've ever been removed, so I'd prefer it like that. But yeah. So we're just gonna dig into this. I have this key here. I don't know if it's any good or yet or not, or still. I'm assuming that's probably gonna be good. I could do a bench test on it, and hopefully get this thing to run and start up like it should, like it did factory. So I went digging through my parts box. I got a whole nother replacement one of these to replace all this. I don't know if this one's any good. It looks like the choke lever crap broke off, but I can maybe take this one off of this one and put it on here. But I'll feed these wires down and see where they connect. And it looks like we found it right there. So I wonder if these harnesses are going to be the same. Also got a spare starter solenoid, so that's even better. Yeah. I got a spare one of whatever this is, I don't know. Spare ignition coil. Stators, carburetors. That probably won't work on this model. I got this part, I don't know what it does or what it's off of. Yep, another stator. So I've got some parts I can work with. Got some extra electrical wire in here. CDI box. These typically are what, when you read on the internet, these are typically what go out. So I got a couple I can swap out there. What I do need right now is a 15 amp 250 volt bus fuse that I don't have one of. And I'm not going to rob one off the other quads to make this one work. We're going to make them all run. So I think I'm going to head down to the auto parts store and get one. So I've been sitting here playing around with the ignitions, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. Got it to crank, no problem. Took me about 20 minutes to figure it out. I had to put a new fuse in it. But once I figured out, I tried out this spare ignition that I had, or kill switch that I had. Then I realized like that kills it, but then to reset it, you got to push it in. So let's see what happens. Fires right up. Sounds pretty good too. Up, it's in reverse right now. So there's reverse. Let's see if I can put it into neutral. That'd be neutral. First, second. Well, now it stopped. I don't know. That'd be third. Fourth. Oh, wait a minute. I pulled the clutch in. I should be able to stop that wheel. That wheel doesn't want to stop when I pull the clutch in. So, you know what that tells me? We might have a frozen clutch now. Alright, we're back here with day 2 of repair of the Chinese quad. And we're going to do it is we're going to put in a button starter so that way we can dart it up every time. And I probably can't understand anything I'm saying, but I'll tell you what, we're going to get her run. We're going to run her hot. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do some burnout. We're going to peel up some grass. We're going to peel up a lot of things. We're going to might even jump the creek with this bad girl right here. I tell you what, we're going to get fired up. So I got this button right here. This originally was going to be my nitrous button for my truck, but I got that one figured out in a different fashion. So no longer going to be going with the button. We're going to just be going. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hook back up these wires. See if we can get this whole switch working because it's still in good shape like this one. I mean, why not? It just makes sense. These connectors on these Chinese quads are like super simple. It's just one tab. I like them. I almost wish all cars were made with them, but they're not waterproof or anything like that, so that's the thing that sucks about them. Click and a clack right there. We'll tuck this one away for later. Late last night we hooked up some hot wire to this headlight here and it worked, and I was super ecstatic about that. Check this out. Boom. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But so we're going to have a headlight too on it. We need that when it's 10:30 at night for racing quads around the yard. Let me get this all plugged back in real quick. Come on in. We got a special guest visitor today.
I brought party favors.
Party favors, perfect. Okay, we got that hooked up. We got to push that center button. And then we got to jump start it our hybrid way with just a wire and see if it'll fire up. It did. Perfect. So this switch still works. We're going to keep it in play. Why not? So by the way, we're out here doing a collab. I got a buddy coming. If you haven't seen him, it's Cool Shiz every day. He's doing a long road trip all across the USA. Right there.
Yeah, man. Cheap fun for the cheap skates.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of this beer, you got to see it. 1 second. 10 Barrels Brewing Company. I mean, I'll be damned. You can find them on Instagram. Cheap fun beer. Right up my alley. And we got Zane back here. He's going to be doing the stitches on the quad. Later on, you'll have to see that. So stick around. This is going to be an even funner video yet. So I just jammed out the quad real quick. I put the plastics back on, put a push button starter in it, and put a chain on it. Found out that we got some more issues, but we took it for a test ride anyway. Let me show you what I did and what still needs on it. So down here we're missing a chain tensioner right there, and we're missing one bolt back here. So we're gonna get those two put in tomorrow, and it really take it for a rip. But as for right now, I mean, find neutral here. There's neutral. Push of a button right here. So this button right here, you got to push it in to deactivate it, and then you just push this button. Fires right up. Actually, not too bad looking. As always, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, and thank you for subscribing. If you found this video any bit entertaining, please hit that subscribe button down in the bottom. and continue, because we're going to have this quad in a lot more videos. I'm going to put it to work tearing up the grass, because it's going to do it. Catch you later. I tell you what, if you got a half acre of grass at your house, just go to Facebook Marketplace, pick up a couple of these Chinese quads. I know it ain't American made, and I do love American made stuff, but what four-wheeler truly is American made? None of them. None that I know of, at least. But you blow up this motor, you get a brand new one off Amazon for like 300 bucks. Shipped to your door. 6 bolts, it's in. I mean, how hard is that? You know, the parts are cheap for them. The replacement parts are super cheap for them. They're just fun. They're a good time. That's what I'm trying to say. And you too could look like me right now. So wants more mud. More mud. More mud. I mean, these Chinese quads are just fantastic to rip on in the yard. They're not fast enough to get hurt on, but they're not slow enough for a boring time. It's like a perfect happy medium. Her on her 110cc, we got a kidney bean shape that in track now. I took down some of the fences, and her little quad on her little 110cc pulled out a 24:56 lap time. That's 24 seconds. And me, I'm at a 25:24 for my fastest lap time on the 125. So the 110 is just as fast with the lighter rider as the 125 with the heavier rider. And you know, I max out the suspension on that because I'm of my size, and it wasn't meant for a 250-pound rider, but it's getting one anyway, so we're just out here having a blast. Go rip it! This is the perfect example of what dads should do with their kids on a day off. So we're gonna give you a tour of the track right now. Whoops. So right over here is a start-finish line. Or that yellow cone is what marks that. Come around this corner right here. Spin it. And go through the fence I knocked out. Come around here. Come around Wyatt swing. Got it down here. Come around the apple tree. Back through the gate. Slide through the slide. Come around this hard. And then you're back here in the start. It's a cool kidney bean shape. It's a lot of fun. Now, the tricky thing about this, you get going fast around too fast Wyeth's turn, and you go down in there, you're going to end up in the creek at about 2 feet of water this time of year.